I'm Star City News reporter Bree Samani. A 78-year-old woman is behind bars tonight after being accused of drunk driving and running into a pedestrian.
17th and R, parts of 84th and Normal Boulevard, just a few construction sites causing delays across the city.
Plus, the late Whitney Houston left behind reworked tracks that have never been heard. All that and more now on Star City News.
Welcome to Star City News. I'm Jack Housingay.
And I'm Emma Olson.
A construction worker is still in the hospital tonight after being hit by a drunk driver yesterday afternoon.
The 78-year-old woman was arrested on DUI charges. Star City's Bree Samani has more.
A 78-year-old woman was arrested for a DUI after hitting a construction worker walking on the median. It happened here at 31st and Superior yesterday at 3 p.m. Janet Lubin was charged with a DUI while causing serious bodily injury, leaving the scene of the accident and refusing to be breathalyzed.
Investigators determined that the driver was westbound on Superior near Bear Street in the inside lane of traffic. The vehicle jumped the median and continued westbound in the eastbound lanes of traffic. The vehicle again jumped the median and was traveling westbound on the median when the construction worker was struck.
34-year-old Gromiko Roby of Omaha was walking in the median when police say Lubin ran over him. Roby was transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. His current condition is unknown. Witnesses estimated the car was going as fast as 45 miles per hour. A witness said she heard a loud thud and screaming from outside of her office.
It was so loud, I thought it was two cars hitting.
Elise Moore said she went over to the man lying on the ground and saw his friend holding him.
He was just, at that point his feet were moving around and stuff. It was just like he was bleeding from his head. It was a very hard thing to see.
Police say Lubin attempted to leave the scene but was later found at 27th and Superior. Lubin was found unconscious in her car. Again, she was under the influence of alcohol. For Star City News, I'm Bree Samani reporting. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thank you, Bree. 3 men were arrested yesterday afternoon after being caught with marijuana at a traffic stop. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office netted over 29 pounds of pot, 2 ounces of THC, and hash oil during their search. The men were lodged for possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver, as well as possession of paraphernalia.
Mushroom hunting season is underway. Nebraska Game and Parks Information Officer Greg Wagner said mushrooms like the giant puffball, oyster, and chicken of the woods are thriving due to the recent rain. Wagner suggests first-time hunters wear orange because of deer hunting season and always take an experienced mushroom hunter with you. If you think the mushroom could be poisonous, Wagner says, when in doubt, throw it out.
Wood from some of Lincoln's oldest trees are now being preserved by Union College and the Nebraska Forest Service. Conservation efforts are being made for several 140-year-old honey locust trees that were damaged after a storm in August. The wood has since been cut, and planks of it will be sold to Union College alumni and donors as commemorative pieces.
Minute pirate bugs are more prevalent this fall because of temperature and rain. The bugs move from woods and farm fields to backyards this time of year in search of food. The bugs are small but pack a punch with their bite. They aren't poisonous but could cause swelling or a welt.
Well, I was out on my deck trying to read a book, and I only lasted about 3 or 4 minutes because there were these gnat-like bugs swirling around me. The next day, I could tell that they were bug bites, and they started to swell up almost on my arm, and they really hurt.
After nearly 2 months since a home exploded in South Lincoln, neighbors are speaking out in frustration with the lack of cleanup. Edenton North residents say debris still litters Eastview Drive where the home once stood. However, the Lincoln Police Department said in a statement yesterday that they are, quote, in no way preventing the cleanup of the site, end quote.
South 84th Street between Highway 2 and Yankee Hill Road will close on Saturday for railroad crossing improvements. The project will increase safety and smoothness of the crossing. 17th Street will be closing at R Street on October 18th. and Normal Boulevard from 62nd Street to Park Crest Court will close on Monday for pavement repairs. The work is expected to be completed by October 31st. Coming up next, why Lincoln Mayor Chris Beitler is frustrated with City Council.
Plus, a former mayoral candidate from Omaha is launching his campaign for Treasury. Find out more next on Star City News.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
In 2012, the national percentage of adults reporting that they drank too much alcohol before driving was 1.9%. In that same year, Nebraska adults reported 3.4%, nearly twice as much as the national average. People know they shouldn't drive, yet they still do. People go out and plan on coming back home. But as we all know, everything doesn't always go as planned. Inform those around you about the risks of drunk driving.
Welcome to the Lincoln Children's Museum, where the possibilities are endless. The museum offers kids a chance to develop their creativity and turn it into something special. So come on down and be active, be creative, be goofy, and much more. Discover the Lincoln Children's Museum, quick, before they grow up. Watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Jack Housengay.
And I'm Emma Olson. UNL students and Lincoln residents are suffering delays due to ongoing construction around City Campus.
For more on this story, here's Star City News reporter Emmanuel Sanchez-Mora.
If you walk through Lincoln's downtown, you will notice the amount of closures and repair the Public Works Department is doing this season. According to the city, most lettered and numbered streets in the area are closed for repairs such as gas leaks, utility construction, pavement and lab maintenance, hole filling, and water service updates. This is causing delays for students going to the city campus. When asked if construction affects his schedule, James Bausch, a UNL student, says,
"Yeah, I would say it did. I would say probably by like 15, 20 minutes. I usually just set my alarm earlier."
It's not only UNL and Southeast Community College students who are affected. Residents who work downtown are also struggling with dense traffic.
I had to go a mile north, clear over to 14th, back down and around to come into Lincoln.
Closures are bottling up vehicles on O, even if it's not rush hour.
I think they could be done a lot sooner. For example, they got the entirety of 34 paved out where I work in about a week, and they're still working on these roads down here.
If you go through downtown, signs like road work ahead and cones like these are probably very common in your everyday view. Officials say many of these plans won't end until December. For Star City News, I'm Emmanuel Sanchez reporting.
Senator John Morante held a press conference this morning to review the integrity of elections in Nebraska. In September, Morante sent a letter to Vice President Pence and Secretary Kobach. Morante cited recent studies that show Americans are losing confidence in elections. The letter calls for voter identification laws, a mechanism to check citizenship status of individuals registering to vote, and federal government assistance with replacement of election infrastructure.
It is a basic fundamental principle that is applied by every single Western civilization. Every country in the Western world has some sort of voter identification. It's a common sense proposal, and that's why the people in Nebraska support it so much.
Lincoln Mayor Chris Beitler says the city is facing a growth barrier. Beitler is expressing frustration with City Council, who he says has approved a 1% increase to the city's budget in just 2 of the last 9 years. Beitler added that if the increase is not consistently approved, it will, quote, wreak havoc on the city, end quote.
Former Omaha mayoral candidate Taylor Royal will announce his campaign for state treasurer today. The campaign will kick off at the University of Nebraska-Omaha, where Royal will be joined by Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert and members of Nebraska Patriots for Trump. He will face Republican Senator John Morante, while no Democratic candidate has been announced. Coming up after the break, an update on the wildfires ripping through wine country.
Plus, a look at this weekend's weather as the Ohio State Buckeyes come to town. You're watching Star City News.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln. Welcome to the Lincoln Children's Museum, where the possibilities are endless. The museum offers kids a chance to develop their creativity and turn it into something special. So come on down and be active, be creative, be goofy, and much more. Discover the Lincoln Children's Museum, quick, before they grow up.
Tired of waiting in line for weight sets or an open treadmill at the campus rec? Do the crowds make working out less appealing? Then head on over to the East Campus Rec and Wellness Center. The East Campus Rec has everything you need, from weightlifting, running, and fitness machines to basketball courts and an indoor track, all without the crowds. So come on over to the East Campus Rec and Wellness Center, located at 1717 North 35th Street, just a block west of the East Campus Union.
University of Nebraska College of Journalism and Mass Communications, you can start here and go anywhere. Our programs are designed for doers, life seekers. You'll get hands-on experience from day one in front of or behind a camera with a major in broadcasting. Or maybe you'd like a career in radio, calling sporting events for KRNU, or design a major advertising campaign. To begin your future, go to journalism.unl.edu.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Emma Olson.
And I'm Jack Housengay. Emma, the temperatures in the capital city are beginning to drop, and it really starting to feel like fall out there.
You know, Jack, you're right. With more on what to expect for the weekend, including Husker game day, here's Star City's Camille Hoover.
Currently here in Lincoln, it is quite pleasant under mostly sunny skies, temperature at 72 degrees, also gusty winds out of the south at 15 to 20 miles per hour. If we look to the almanac, we can see that today's high of 72 degrees is slightly above our average of 68, but nowhere close to making any records, especially the one held in 1975 at 93 degrees. Our low is right on par with the average of 43 degrees, so quite seasonable for mid-October. And the sun continues to set earlier and earlier, so watch out for that at 6:51 tonight. Looking to tonight, we can see that partly cloudy skies, 51 degrees with winds calming down a bit from earlier with our gusty winds at only 5 to 10 miles per hour. If we look to tomorrow, the showers start to creep in, temperatures settle down at 64 degrees, winds once again calmer at 5 to 10 miles per hour. These afternoon showers will lead us into game day, which we can see as the Huskers prepare to take on Ohio State with kickoff at 6:30 p.m., 63 degrees and a chance of showers. So make sure you keep an eye out for that during the day on Saturday, starting at 9 a.m., continuing through the evening, leading us up to kickoff. There is a highly likely chance of rain, so make sure you wear your poncho. Looking forward to the 7-day forecast, we can see that following Saturday showers, starting from Sunday into the beginning of the work week, temperatures will be quite pleasant, resting nicely in the 70s. Look out for a chilly AM and start to the day on Monday at 37 degrees, so it's always a good idea to dress in layers this time of the year. That's all for us here at Weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Camille. Wildfires are still raging in California. Authorities say at least 285 people are missing and 23 are dead. The area is expecting wind gusts of 60 miles per hour on Friday, which could cause flames to spread even more. Flights at San Francisco International airports have been canceled because of the smoke.
President Donald Trump is now saying he may pull federal relief workers from Puerto Rico. The threat to abandon the island comes just 2 weeks after Trump stated that the damage from Hurricane Maria was throwing the U.S. budget, quote, a little out of whack, end quote. Carmen Yulín Cruz, the mayor of Puerto Rico's capital city, San Juan, tweeted in response to Trump's decision, saying he did not get it and that he was incapable of fulfilling the moral imperative. Now, nearly 3 weeks after Hurricane Maria hit the island, the death toll in Puerto Rico continues to rise. 45 people are dead and at least 113 people still remain unaccounted for. The majority of the island is still without power.
President Trump signed an executive order to make lower premium health care plans more widely available. Trump tweeted, "Since Congress can't get its act together on health care, I will be using the power of the pen to give great health care to many people fast."
So this is promoting healthcare, choice and competition all across the United States.
The United States announced its plan to withdraw from UNESCO, the United Nations Cultural and Educational Agency, because of what they call a bias against Israel. The withdrawal will not go into effect until December 2018. The decision reflects U.S. concerns for fundamental reform for the organization.
An American family is now free from Pakistani captivity in Afghanistan nearly 5 years after being taken hostage by the Taliban. Caitlin Coleman and her husband Joshua Boyle were kidnapped in 2012 while traveling to the country as tourists. In a statement made by the Pakistani Army, Coleman, Boyle, and their 2 children are safe as they make arrangements to return to the United States.
Days after allegations of sexual harassment and sexual assault, Harvey Weinstein checked into a rehab center in Arizona. Celebrities continue to step forward and join those who say they've been victimized by Weinstein. Former supporters Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton are no longer standing by Weinstein's side and have called his actions disgusting.
A new standing bear memorial statue is being erected in Lincoln's Centennial Mall Plaza. The ceremony will take place this Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. The Ponca chief will be honored and remembered during this time. And Pinnacle Bank Arena may be getting a new basketball floor next year. UNL, whose men's and women's basketball teams use the arena, is looking to put in a request for the change. $150,000 has already been added to this year's budget in anticipation of the request. Coming up next, a look at last night's Nebraska volleyball match in Wisconsin.
And how Taylor Swift is making news in the social media world. You're watching Star City News.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln. Welcome to the University of Nebraska State Museum. Explore the history of life. Immerse yourself in the full-dome, state-of-the-art planetarium experience. See spectacular fossil discoveries and walk alongside ancient sea giants in our Mesozoic era. Take a journey through time and explore the world before we knew it. The University of Nebraska State Museum. You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Sarah Firestone with your latest updates in sports. Baseball postseason is underway and the returning World Series champions are fighting to stay in it. Last night, the Washington Nationals defeated the Chicago Cubs 5-0, sending their National League Division Series to a decisive Game 5. Michael A. Taylor hit a grand slam last night in the 8th inning, giving the Nationals the runs they needed to close out the game. But in the American League Division Series, the Yankees closed out Game 5 against the Indians in Cleveland. Late in the 9th, the Indians made some costly errors, allowing the Yankees to go up 5-2, and Aroldis Chapman finished it off with a good strikeout. The Yankees won the series 3-2. The Cubs and Nationals face off tonight in Washington, D.C. in Game 5 with the series tied 2-2. The winner of that game will go on to play the Los Angeles Dodgers in L.A. on Saturday. And the Yankees advance into the league championship where they'll take on the Astros on Houston soil. The Astros advance to the semifinals on Monday after shutting out the Red Sox. In turn, some management changes have taken place in Boston. Here's what President Dave Dombrowski had to say.
After some thought processes, we weigh a lot of different things that become involved. And to me, I thought that it was the appropriate time to make a change for the betterment of the organization to move forward.
The Red Sox fired manager John Farrell after losing in the first round of playoffs for the second season in a row. Dombrowski doesn't go into much detail about the decision. Instead, he stood firm on not sharing facts and said he would keep those to himself. Switching over from postseason to midseason, Week 6 in the NFL gets underway tonight as the Philadelphia Eagles travel to Carolina to face off with the Panthers. Some other notable matchups to look out for this weekend include the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Kansas City to take on the undefeated Chiefs. The New York Giants will head to Denver in search of their first win of the season against the Broncos, and the Indianapolis Colts head down to Tennessee in the Monday night matchup with the Titans. Taking it indoors to the court, the Husker volleyball team was set up to beat the Dodgers last night in Madison, but came short in the fourth set. Freshman Jazz Sweet led the Huskers with 11 kills, while senior Kelly Hunter had 35 assists and 10 digs for her fifth straight double-double game. However, the Badgers out-hit the Huskers all night and had an advantage in blocks, with their 6'8" freshman Dana Recchi helping to lead the Wisconsin to victory with 12 kills and 8 blocks. The Huskers will try to rebound against number 16 Purdue this Saturday in West Lafayette. And the Huskers will battle it out in Memorial Stadium against the Ohio State Buckeyes this Saturday. Nebraska is hoping to pull off a Big Ten upset at home and kick off his set for 6:30. That's all the highlights in sports. Again, I'm Sarah Firestone. Coming up next, Star City's Lee Marion has the latest on nominations for the American Music Awards.
Sierra, who's revealing the nominees for two of the biggest categories, starting with Artist of the Year.
Yes, the nominees for Artist of the Year are...
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln. Welcome to the Lincoln Children's Museum, where the possibilities are endless. The museum offers kids a chance to develop their creativity and turn it into something special. So come on down and be active, be creative, be goofy, and much more. Discover the Lincoln Children's Museum, quick, before they grow up.
At the University of Nebraska College of Journalism and Mass Communications, you can start here and go anywhere. Our programs are designed for doers, life seekers. You'll get hands-on experience from day one in front of or behind a camera with a major in broadcasting. Or maybe you'd like a career in radio, calling sporting events for KRNU, or design a major advertising campaign. To begin your future, go to journalism.unl.edu.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Lee Marion with the latest in entertainment. Your favorite artists have been nominated for this year's American Music Awards. Early this morning, the nominees came in for each category on Good Morning America. Selected for Artist of the Year, we have Bruno Mars, Drake, Ed Sheeran, Kendrick Lamar, and the Chainsmokers. And then we have in for Video of the Year, Despacito by Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee, That's What I Like with Bruno Mars, and Ed Sheeran's Shape of You. You can vote for your favorite country, pop, and hip-hop artists now on Billboard's website. The awards are held in Los Angeles on November 19th at 8 p.m. Let's get into the movies coming out over the weekend. This trio has created quite the buzz for fans. Our first is an action-packed film that takes you through the ups and downs of Thurgood Marshall, played by Chadwick Boseman. Marshall, an attorney, fights racism and segregation in a conservative Connecticut with the help of a Jewish lawyer. In his best attempt to fight for his client's defense, he faces his own struggles, mobs, death threats, and bar brawls. Speaking of bar brawls, you may know him from Karate Kid or even the Rush series. It's the one and only Jackie Chan taking on none other than a few petty criminals. Quan, played by Chan, fights for his only love, his daughter, after she is captured by a terrorist group in London. Moving to the final preview, there hasn't been a usual day in the life of this college teen played by Jessica Roth. Searching for answers in her mysterious murder, she awakes to the same day until she finds the hidden killer. Well, that's all we have for entertainment. Let's toss it back over to the desk with Emma and Jack.
Emma, you talked about Bruno Mars and the AMAs. I think he's going to be a tough artist to beat for that Top Artist Award.
You know he is. He released a lot of really good music the past year. We'll have to see what fans are saying on Twitter, though.
Absolutely. And speaking of social media, our social media correspondent Karina Hernandez joins us now.
Thanks, guys. Rose McGowan is one of the many actresses accusing Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault. She shared in an overnight Instagram post that her Twitter account had been blocked temporarily after a series of tweets about Weinstein's misconduct toward her. Twitter wasn't clear as to why her account was blocked. However, many felt the actress was being silenced for speaking out. Twitter later released this statement saying they had blocked the account because of a private phone number was visible in a screenshot. The tweet has since been removed and her account unlocked. Social media users might not have to worry about Twitter's guidelines for long because, ooh, look what they made her do. Taylor Swift announced a new app called The Swift Life. You'll also be able to get exclusive Taylor Swift stuff like Taymojis, play her music, and chat with friends. The app is to be released late this year. Are you ready for it? Well, Donald Trump was not ready for what rapper Eminem had to say at the Hip Hop BET Awards during a heated freestyle rap.
But this is his form of distraction. Plus, he gets an enormous reaction when he attacks the NFL, so we focus on that instead of talking Puerto Rico with gun reform for Nevada, all these horrible tragedies, and he's bored and would rather cause a Twitter storm with the Packers.
The rap is one of Snapchat's top global stories, and some are calling for Eminem to run for president. That's all for social media today. I'm Karina Hernandez. Back to you at the desk.
Well, thanks so much for that, Karina. You know, Taylor Swift has always been one of my favorites, so I might have to go ahead and download that app.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I'm already sick of emojis. I don't know if I can do Taymojis, but still, hey, gotta give credit to her. She's going out, she's following her social media dreams. So, hey, you know what? If she's gonna get a lot of followers and people are gonna download it, I can't knock the hustle, Taylor Swift.
Well, that's all the time we have today for Star City News. From everyone here, I'm Emma Olson.
And I'm Jack Housengate. We'll see you next time.